Do you enjoy knowing that budgeting and saving money can add up to really big dollars? If so, you are in the right place today. I will be adding up all of my sinking funds and we will be seeing what progress was made for the month of August. And if you are new, I hope that you'll consider subscribing. I plan to do a giveaway when I reach 300 subscribers of some various budgeting items that I have purchased or been given over the years to hopefully help somebody that's starting out on their journey or somebody who is ongoing on their journey but just needs that little bit of motivation. And if you are new, I am Deidre. I'm in my mid to late 30s. I work full-time in healthcare, and you are more than welcome in this space. And if you are returning, I see you. I appreciate you being here so much. So yes, today I'm going to be counting up my sinking funds across all different categories to see what progress I made in the month of August. I was off of work for the month of pretty much all of June and July and August due to having surgery at the beginning of June. I am lucky that I did have enough sick bank to continue to pay me. However, when I need surgery again, which will probably be next year, I will be on disability, which is going to be a huge, massive blow to my, I guess, savings and budgeting and all of that. So we're going to get into it. Before we do, I am going to stuff a little bit of money into my iris binder, kind of in regards to that potentially surgery next year. I have $30 that I'm going to be putting into the iris binder today. And I think I've decided that this binder that I'm using, and I use this in my cash stuffing videos, as a challenge, it saves $500. I think I'm going to use this money and try and complete it twice, as I've just kind of done some rough estimates. When I go off for surgery, I will not be able to stuff certain categories, like certain goals of mine, but I will still need to cover bills. And there's potential between like $1,000 and $1,500 shortfall for 3 months if I'm off for the 3 months again, like I have been this time around. So that is going to be my goal, is to complete this binder at least twice so that I will have some money to draw on to cover that shortfall so that I don't have to take it from my emergency fund. So yes, I have $30 here today, and this came from a Rakuten cash out payout, as I do use Rakuten. And if you are wanting to sign up, I always have it linked below. And I also had a sale from Poshmark, and again, I have Poshmark linked below. I am a seller on there. I am not like what you would consider a reseller. It's not my business. It's just a way to declutter some items and make a few extra dollars. So we're going to be stuffing again that $30 in here today. And so we are going to cross off 6 5s because we're completing the mini challenge before we stuff it into the binder. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And so we are trying to save $50 at a time, and when we do, then we stuff it in this binder. So that is great. You will see this again soon when I do my next cash stuffing. And I'm really glad I sort of did that rough estimate and figured out what I'm going to need. So yeah, we're going to get into the rest of my sinking funds. Some of these, I do have my laptop off to the side. I do track them all on a spreadsheet, so it does all the nice calculations for me. I have some online only accounts, so they are never stuffed, but I do like to include them. So I did track in July as well, but I never did a video on it. So if you want to see, you'll have to go back to May, because I didn't do one for June either, but I did track for those months. So at the end of July, across all my categories, I had $4,359.14, and a lot of this is just due to interest, as well as some of the online accounts get used, so they're not rounded to the nearest dollar. So we have first 3 online accounts that you will never see. First up is vehicle. So this is for vehicle, anything vehicle related in terms of maintenance. I do need a set of winter tires that I'm going to have to purchase this fall. So I have been making sure that I'm going to have enough in here come that time. And the ending balance for the end of August is $1,199.80. And that is $100.69 more than the previous month. I do treat this like a bill. I do put money in here every single time I get paid to ensure that I'm constantly building it up, as vehicle repairs are just not inexpensive. Next up is household, and this can be for household things. I have used it for like purchasing toilet paper, dishwashing soap, laundry soap. I've been using it recently to buy a couple printer cartridges. I have an older printer. The cartridges are super, super expensive. And so I've been finding some on eBay and purchasing them that way. So at the end of August, I have $40.24 in there, as it kind of gets built up and then used. And so that is $25.11 less than the end of July. However, I did buy 2 color printer cartridges from eBay, so that is where some of that money went. Again, I do put money every paycheck into that account. So next up is Christmas. Yes, I save for Christmas. I save starting January. I don't do the Christmas in July. I don't do any Christmas challenges, as I put money every single paycheck into an account for Christmas. I do love seeing those types of videos, but you just won't see that on my channel, as I just treat it kind of like a bill, and it just goes every single pay period. So at the end of July, I had $300.48 in there, and at the end of August, I have $340.66. I don't go super crazy. I don't have a bunch of people to buy for. I am very lucky that my parents host Christmas, so I don't actually really have to bring any food or anything. I do help prepare the lunch and the meal and the dinner, and I do tend to spend time between Christmas and New Year's at my parents' house. But yeah, I just need to buy gifts for my parents, my brother, my sister, my newly brother-in-law. My sister got married last year, and maybe this Christmas my brother is seeing somebody and it is serious, so I might be getting her a small gift as well. And I have a couple of friends and a friend's kids that I like to buy for, but I don't go super crazy with gifts. So we're gonna start moving on to binders. We're gonna start out with this one here. And this is sort of ones that get used quite often. So hair is my hair appointment, and I have my hair done every about 9 to 11 weeks or so. And at the end of July, I had $50 in here, and I have 20, 40, 60, 75, and 80. And that is enough for an appointment. My appointment's in mid-September next. And my appointment is $75. That includes a tip as well. So I don't get anything super crazy done with my hair. I just get my roots kind of covered, and it's not even like a full color. So nails at the end of July have 30, and it has 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I will be having my appointment coming up here in a day or two. So if my nails look horrible, I do apologize. That's the reason for it. My nails cost me $30. That includes a tip, and I pay cash for both hair and nails. Next up is beauty. Beauty did get some money, but it did get spent at Sephora, as there was a couple of things that I wanted at Sephora, and they were, I got my birthday gift from Sephora, as I am born in August. So so it has no money in there. It had $15 at the end of July, so it is down. Clothes, the same thing. I've been using some of this money. It has $0. It's going to get some love eventually. And it had $40 at the end of July, so it is down 40, but that's okay. That's what they're here for. So next up is technology. So at the end of July, I had 160 in here, and now I have 200 in the bank, and 20, 30, and 40. So I was thinking about potentially buying an iPad, as I don't have one, and I tend to use just my laptop mostly for surfing the net and like the odd thing. Obviously, I use it to edit my videos, but I do a little bit of like computer work in terms of Excel and Word, but not a ton. So, but I don't know if I'm going to buy one. It could just be saving up for the next time I need to get a different laptop. That's okay. Pets, I do not have any pets, but my goal is to purchase a new place in 2025 or 6. I thought about buying next year, but I don't know if that's going to be totally feasible, but I am saving for a pet, as I plan to get one. And at the end of it's on my spreadsheet. I had $200 at the end of July, and I have 200 in the bank, 50, 75 now. So, and if I absolutely positively had to use this money, I would. As like I say, I don't have a pet, so it's a future goal, but it's definitely a goal I'm working on. So next up is new home, saving for a new home. This will be probably going towards sorry, trying to grab placeholders, towards legal fees, as it costs money, obviously, to have an attorney, do all of your paperwork, as well as potential moving costs. So at the end of July, I had $150, and I now have 100, 250 in there. So we are up 100. This is sort of my goal of mine. So I am still making it a priority. I'm still trying to hammer out what I plan to have. To have at least 2,500 would be great, but I'm not sure when I want that by. If it's, June, July of next year, or if I'm going to wait longer and give myself more time. I haven't fully decided, but I know I want probably more than that. So next up is gifts. Gifts had $40 at the end of July. It has nothing. My mom's birthday is the next birthday up, but I am sorry, I think I'm completed hers, so I don't necessarily have to have money in here for gifts, as there's no birthdays or anything coming up anytime soon. So it is down 40, but that's okay. That, again, like I say, that's what it's there for. Next up is giving. Giving is a priority of mine, and even when I was paying off debt, I did put money, as I am truly blessed, so I want to be able to pass that along. So at the end of July, I had 15 in there, and I have 10, 20, 35 in there now. So I usually make a donation, usually when it's more than $20, towards something that I'm feeling like I want to give towards. Next up is my emergency fund, which is super exciting. At the end of July, I had, $850 in there. And at the end of August, I have 1,000. So I am super happy with that. I do not intend to stop. I do not believe $1,000 is more than enough. Anybody who's ever had an emergency, especially, the prices in Canada for everything are just astronomical. So I do plan to continue to save for that, but I do have 1,000 in there, which is great. I'm going to bring out my other binder. This is annuals and sort of low priority stuff. So first up is home insurance, which is actually condo insurance. And I already paid this earlier this year. I will start to save. When I save for certain categories like insurance and my registration, I tend to snowball it in a way that I basically try and save up for it within 1 or 2 months, kind of after that expense hits, and then I know I have that money for next year. So it's not something I contribute to every single paycheck or every single month. I tend to try and save that money as quickly as possible, so I know I have it, so then I can then move on to other goals. So I will start to save for this. I think in October I've planned, and I'll save it really quickly, and then I'll be good until next year. Next up is renewal. So this is my AAA as well as my car registration, and I have $200 in here, and I had $200 in there at the end of July. It's had it for a while. They've both been fully funded for a while. I do have to pay for my car registration in September, so it will go down, but again, I will make it a priority to then save it up very quickly. Next up is subscriptions. The only subscription that I kind of categorize, I pay for Netflix, but that's a monthly bill, is my Sirius XM. And I got a deal last year in July for 2 years at $5 a month. And I just threw money onto the credit card to just cover that monthly fee. And so I'm good until July of next year. I haven't decided if I'm going to try and renew. I listen to it while I'm driving as well as while I'm working. So that's why I pay for it. I don't know if I'm going to next year. I haven't fully decided. I will only renew if I can get the $5 a month. So that's just kind of how I work it. This tracker I think I need to clean off, but it's my health tracker to pay for usually expenses that my benefits do not cover or do not reimburse me for. At the end of July, I had $20 in here, and I have $15 in here now. I had a physio appointment, and I have some physio appointments ongoing just due to my surgery, so money came out for that. As my health benefits are, even though we're not at the end of the year, they're dwindling. So next up is travel. I have no plans to travel anytime soon. It's super expensive to go anywhere right now. So this is just a slow builder. At the end of July, I had $70 in here, and I have 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, and 90 in here. So we have almost $100 in here. Again, like I say, it's a slow builder, but that's okay. And if I absolutely had to use money, I would use money out of that just because I don't have any plans. Next up is Night Out, which I have actually been using for yoga. My city puts on different series of like different fitness classes. You can do, you know, cycling, you can do yoga, you can do, I think, I don't know if there's Pilates, but there's all sorts of yoga programs. There's like boot camp programs, and I've been doing candlelight yin, and the sessions that are starting in the fall. It's starting later this year. It's starting at the beginning of October, but they opened a couple weeks ago, and I signed up for a 5-week session. So I did use money out of here, as that's what it's earmarked for. So it had 70 at the end of July, and it has 5, 10, 15, and 20. So the next session after that, I believe, is 60 because it's going for 6 weeks. So it's like $10 a session. I don't know if I will sign up for that round or not, but I will be adding some money in here kind of coming up in the future just to kind of build it back up. So that's what I do with that. So it is down, but I know why, because I paid for my next sessions. So next up is furniture. Again, furniture for the future, not for right now. It had $20 at the end of July, and it should still have 20, 5, 10, 15, and 20. That is correct. This one hasn't been getting love and is not really our priority. So next up is appliances, which has 0 and has had 0 for quite a while. Again, not a super high priority. I have added in 2 new envelopes, and actually I'll show you them. They're from Belladonna Budgets. They are beautiful. This one is for a new vehicle. I know I'm going to eventually need a new vehicle, so I want to kind of start saving for that. Probably not super fast, but definitely taking some money that I would earmark for car maintenance and put towards a new vehicle. And maintenance, this would be house maintenance. I live in a condo right now, and there's really not too much maintenance in terms of that. So that's kind of earmarked for like a future place that I'm buying, but I have put them on my tracker just so I have them. I also have a tracker coming from Iris Budgets, those A5s, and I have one for new vehicles. So I'm excited about that. And I just have 2 other categories that I used to have. I've just shoved them in the back. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I've thought about potentially doing like a rainy day thing, maybe use it as like a buffer in case maybe I need a little extra money for a category that I don't really want to. I have a buffer in my checking account. It never goes below 1,000, but yeah, like we'll see for that. So next up we have I have a couple other binders, but we're just going to start out with this Iris binder, the one that I'm saving for to cover the difference when potentially I have surgery. So it had it had $0 at the end of July, right, because I started it in August. So I'm like, what is that about? So we actually have $50 in the binder, and then as you saw me earlier, I just put in 30. So we have $80 in this binder. So that is great. Quite happy with that. And I actually am going to be using this challenge for that when I do my cash stuffing. So just do that. I also have a $1,000 Iris binder. It has nothing in it right now. I bought this to use as using towards my retirement and my future. I do already contribute to my RRSP, and I do contribute a bit towards my tax-free savings. I have money come straight out my paycheck before I even get paid for my RRSP. I also put in extra money to a different RRSP account, like through my actual paycheck, and then I contribute a little bit towards my tax-free savings. My goal is I want to be putting like a lump sum. It would be ideally every single year towards my retirement. So this is just a saver to help me get there. So it is new. It had nothing, and it still has nothing, but that is okay. So next up we have my month ahead binder. This was, again, I could use this when I have my surgery, but I kind of don't want to. That's why I kind of want to build up the money separately so that I know that I can use that money and not touch these. But this is a month ahead. The goal is when I purchase a new place, I plan to sell my current place after I've purchased the new place. So this would be money I could draw on instead of using my paycheck to help pay some bills. So We've already accomplished quite a few, and we're working on the mortgage, but we have already done cell phone, which fully funded. Again, I actually plan to fully fund this twice, but I will have this fully funded this year for 1 month at least. We had 60 for gas, 80 for car insurance, which might go up when I get my renewal kind of later on this year, but we'll see. 100 for groceries, 130 for property tax as I contribute towards my property tax bi-weekly. Cable internet is just shy of 180, so it's easier to round up. I have my condo fees, which I had $460 in, and we have our mortgage, which has, because that's the one we're working on next, has 250 in there. So we're getting there. We're getting there on the mortgage. So, and I treat this like a bill, and I put money every single month. And this is an online account, so I use placeholders to tell me where I'm at in terms of keeping track. So we are moving and grooving on that, which is great. And then after we're finished mortgage, then we're going to move on to a little bit of a buffer and then start again. I do have money in the front from a challenge. I'm not counting it right now because what I plan to do is then use it to finish the mortgage and potentially start on buffer or kind of start and finish another category. But that money will get redistributed. It's just not in there right now. So we are up $100 in that account from the previous month, which is awesome. Again, I'm treating that like a bill, so it gets money every single paycheck. So I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything, and it doesn't look like it. So at the end of August, across all my different categories, now this does not include my checking account, this does not include my property tax account, sorry. I keep those separately. So yeah, we actually did very, very well, and I'm actually quite impressed with myself. So at the end of July, it was $4,614.94 across all categories. And at the end of August, we have $5,235.70, which is awesome. I know a lot of this is obviously my month ahead, my emergency fund, as well as my vehicle. And when I do have to purchase those new tires, it will drop it, but that's the reason I continue to save for things. Even if a category has nothing in it, at least I know I've used that money instead of going into debt, as I am consumer debt free, and my goal is to always be consumer debt free. So I'm quite impressed with that I've hit over the $5,000 mark in these categories. I'm just actually going to scroll back and see if I have hit that before. I've actually been tracking this for quite a long time, actually since I started my channel. So I just want to see if I have ever been over that amount. I know it's been a slow progress and commitment, and so and like I say, I know categories are going to go up, categories are going to go down, but that is just life, and that's just the journey, right? So no, actually, I have never been over $5,000 in my sinking funds since I started. So that is woohoo! That is actually super exciting. Hopefully next month will be even higher. I think is probably October time is probably when I'll buy the tires, but that's okay. We will still have built up other categories to make up for it. So yeah, I hope this gives you inspiration to keep going. This has been over time. I've been cash budgeting for years now, so don't think that you need to meet certain goals within like 3 months. And even if somebody else does, you are on your own journey. You are dealing with your own budget and your own money, but I hope this gives you inspiration to keep going. And if you made it this far, I would love it if you would leave a sun emoji. I think there's a few different options that you can leave, but I would love it if you would leave a sun emoji so I know you got here. And I will catch you on the next one, which will be a Monday minis. Bye, everybody.